Hey guys, welcome to our channel. In today's episode, we get to discover the full power of the Hex Core, and how Jinx and Vi got in a heated battle with a deadly beast, which turned out to be someone very close to them. Grab your gears guys, and let's dive in. The scene begins with Caitlyn and Maddie in a bed together, which reveals that they were having a secret affair. Maddie assures her that the people of Peltover follows her, and this put a smile on her face a little. Jinx is seen announcing a fight contest between Stinkmaw and the challenger Stinky Scuttlebutt. The fight began between these two. Turns out it was between two beetles. Isha's beetle won the fight, and she proposed a rematch to Jinx, which she refused. Jinx took Isha into the room and changed the color of her hair, to look just like herself. Then she tells Isha she was more like her sister, and she used to answer the name Powder. Isha gave Jinx her gun, but she turned it down, saying Jinx was dead and so was that life. Meanwhile, Ambessa carried out experiments on Hextech, which proved futile, and this aggravated her, and this confirmed her suspicion that the council all feared Hextech. Rictus held the Zons captive, and forced them to surrender Jinx to him, when suddenly there was being ambushed by explosives falling from the sky. Turns out it was Isha behind the attack. Caitlyn and Officer Nolan were together, when Ambessa walked in and says she wants to speak to Caitlyn privately. She breaks the news of Jinx's return, and says if she wasn't the one who invaded the checkpoint, then one of them is sure to know of her whereabouts. Officer Salo was in his recovery session. He felt disappointed for not being chosen as the commander. He tells Les to speed up the process. Les, on the other hand, tells him of a healer she knows down the Russell, and tells Salo to give it a trial. Sevica walked in angrily on Jinx, and confronted her for staging an attack without her. Jinx immediately tells her she has no idea what she was talking about, and they realized it was Isha. Sevica then tells Jinx there would be a rally tonight at Vander's statue, and her presence would mean a lot to the Zons, who now believe she's back. Rictus tortured one of the captives, and forced him to tell him Jinx's location. Just before he passed out, he was able to mention Vander's statue. The Zonites gathered together at the statue, and Sevica was giving her speech. At that moment, Isha lit up a flare in her hands, and the people raised their hand in support. Just then, they were being ambushed by Rictus and his men, and a fight broke out. Isha attacked Rictus, directly punching his face several times, but Rictus effortlessly throws her away. Isha hits her head and passed out. A strange-looking man cut himself, letting the blood drop to the ground, so he can awaken a beast which was underneath. Sevica broke the news of the raid to Jinx, and tells her Isha was taken. This heated Jinx and she couldn't hold back the anger. Isha was afraid, but the strange man tells her to chin up, and they wouldn't be staying there for long. The beast was awakened, and made its way to Vander's statue. He sees the blood trail and follows it. Meanwhile, Jinx and Sevica watched the prisoners being moved away from a distance. Jinx called the attention of the guard, and while she was still talking, Sevica knocked her out from behind. Jinx then dressed in the soldier's uniform, and held Sevica as a prisoner. One of the other guards was flirting with Jinx, and she responded. Jinx and Sevica watched as Ambessa walked past them, and she didn't seem to notice anything suspicious. Jinx loaded her gun with Hexcore. They came across two guards and knocked them out. Then they went to open the cell doors, and free the prisoners. The prisoners were all glad to see Jinx, and they expressed their gratitude. She then goes to find Isha, and hugged her. Meanwhile, the beast was getting closer, and the man who freed the beast, locks himself back in the cell. The beast arrived, and brutally tore down the guards. Jinx tells Sevica to take Isha away, while she holds off the beast. Jinx got in a heated battle with the beast, and her gun didn't seem to make much impact on it. The beast eventually overpowered Jinx, and was going to kill her, and just then, it recognized Jinx. Turned out the beast was Vander. Six resorted to drinking, and engaged in underground fights. She woke up and saw Jinx in her room. Immediately she attacked Jinx, but Jinx tells her Vander is alive, and he needs their help. Vi didn't believe this, but she saw the tears in her eyes, and released her. Caitlyn investigated the damages caused by the beast, and discovered the strange man summoned it. Ambessa forced the man to tell them all about the beast, but he wouldn't say anything, which aggravated Caitlyn. Meanwhile, Mel was still immersed in the Black Rose magic. She woke up and hears a voice in the dark. She was surprised to see it was her lost brother Kino, and she hugged him passionately. Jinx led Six into a tunnel, where she last saw Vander. Six asked Jinx what Vander would be doing in such place, and says she was delusional. Jinx in return says she was only angry because she kicked her ass. This pissed Vi, and they both got into a fight. Isha tries to separate them, but Vi pushed her away. The fight stopped, as they noticed Isha was bleeding. They all put their differences aside, and continued their search. Meanwhile, Ambessa went to meet with the strange man who summoned the beast. She offered him a deal to work for her, and also give her the beast, and in return, she would provide him with everything he needed. The man willingly accepted. Kino tells Mel a lot about their mother, which she was finding hard to believe. She then figured out the cave was like a puzzle. At that moment she realized Kino wasn't her brother, and she was still trapped in the Black Rose magic. The beast smelt the scent of Isha's blood, and it immediately followed the trail. The beast was running towards them, but was ruthlessly stopped by Vi, in her defense. Jinx yells at Six that the beast was Vander, but she couldn't believe, and she got in a heated battle with the beast. Jinx then begs Vi to believe her, and at that moment, Vi calmed down, and called out Vander's name. The scene then changes to a flashback of Vander, together with his wife at the bar. She was pregnant with Vi at that moment. The memory seemed to have calmed the beast, and he recognized his daughters, and they hugged each other. Meanwhile, Jace was released from the Hex Core, which he has been immersed in. He was shocked to see Salo, who was now walking on his feet. Turns out he was healed by Victor. Victor on the other hand was speaking through Salo. He tells Jace to join him, but he refused, and wanted to kill Salo. But will he succeed? And will Mel be able to break free from the black magic? Watch out in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment in the section.